First and foremost, want to give a shout out to all the spring sports. There's first of all, great weather, and thoughts and prayers again with everybody who was affected by the storms over this last month. But brighter days are ahead. Shout out to Samantha Ricketts for 200 wins. What she's doing is just tremendous. Obviously, like everybody else here in Mississippi State, excited for what baseball is about to open it up, and then obviously a major shout out to tennis and the continual great work that they do on the men and women's side. And then also want to give another shout out to our fans. All right, I didn't get a chance last home game. Clearly almost 5,000 people showed up. Apologize, we couldn't get the victory, but your energy and your attendance is everything, and we're going to need it this Thursday against a really, really good Georgia team. In an all blackout, so want you to wear it all black and come out, and again, a team that's probably 2 votes out from being in the top 25. If the NCAA tournament had to start today, probably a 6 to possible 7th seed, so it's going to be an absolute war, and we're going to need that 6-man energy to try to get one.
I know it's still one game at a time, but you're entering a part of the season where it's the final stretch. You've got tired legs. You've got players who are banged up. In your experience, what goes into keeping the players focused on the end goal here?
Yeah, just that. What's your goal? I mean, it's like anything in life. What did you sign up for? And we always sign up for the big dance. So understanding right now, it's not what we're trying to help them understand in the chaos of this league is don't get caught up with the name on the front of the jersey. Let us coaches handle the information that we're going to provide you, but be more dialed in of opponent. We have 6 opponents left to finish the month, and each one of them provide great opportunity. And then, like when you talk about tired legs, the off week was huge this past weekend. We gave off Saturday and Sunday, and I know people laugh, but our kids don't get Sundays off in this league. They don't get to go to church. So I wanted them to go somewhere and get their hair done and feel good about themselves and be outside. So there's a lot of variables that come into basketball outside of just, like you say, not practicing that I thought we were able to accomplish, and then obviously hit the reset button and try to finish this thing off all right.
Yeah, have you just seen the team respond since Thursday in the practices you've had so far?
No, great. It's just as simple as, I look at our season right now, especially here late, is if you look at the rebounding margins, right, we've been really well in that area. That's effort. That's heart. And I've talked about this. I love this team. I love their energy. We're just playing in a year that it's the hardest it's ever been in SEC women's basketball. I think you sent me that graphic the other day. What was it, 11 Quad 1 games we've already participated in. All right, so you try to filter that. That's my job. But what I'm trying to filter out of them is what's causing us not to win some more of those Quad 1 games. So for practice, for us, it's been relentless effort around the rim of trying to cut people off and not letting them get by us for high percentage shots. 2 is, the turnovers flowing a little bit better in our offense. I think I was looking at the SEC stats. I think we're top 6 in the country, in the SEC in scoring, but we still can be better. And just the small stuff behind the scenes, again, of losses. You got 2 ways to look at losses. You can look at it as a scoreboard, or you can look at it as lessons. And with this young group and so many new pieces, I'm trying to take number 2 as far as lessons and talk about those and see if we can improve on that so we can get some more Quad 1 wins.
What are your thoughts on Georgia and kind of what sticks out to you about them?
Yeah, so it's really cool. I'm gonna give a shout out to Katie, obviously a coach that I've known a long time. Her bloodline is the same as mine with my father-in-law Joe Champion, the matchup zone and all that. But she was known for her zone back at UCF. It's interesting to see she's got away from it this year and really honed in man. But what I'm happy for her and what we're all fighting in college athletics, she took some bumps last year with a lot of young kids. And you know what? Those young kids came back for her, and boy, are they playing like no other. And there's some continuity there that she's able to feed off of. And that's why you see them at 19-5 on the year. And again, I'm happy for her. And then she did a phenomenal job getting key pieces in the portal to be additions and not over-recruit. And again, that's why you've got a team that is the top of the league. They're physical. They're strong. They've always been that. But what you're seeing different now is a swag about them, especially in Danny, but also Turner. All right, Turner, who last year was a freshman, is, boy, she's playing like a big-time sophomore this year. And then Danny Carnegie was one of the best players in the SEC last year, and she's just an electric kid. Like almost like a Michaela Blake's from Vanderbilt, where if you don't match up quickly, she's capable of putting 30 on you and making you look really stupid. So again, that's why I'm challenging or asking our fans to come out. You almost got us through that Missouri game, and we're going to need you for Georgia because, again, this is going to be an absolute war and just another SEC game.
What do you think it is that this season there's been some games where you guys have played really, really well and gotten some upsets and some big wins, but then on the other end, there's been some games where things just haven't seemed to have gone well at all? Like, what do you think those inconsistencies, I guess, are coming from?
SEC, right? You look at Missouri. I mean, you hit the elephant. It's not that it wasn't preparation or putting a lens of not dropping the bar, right? Or not taking them for lightly. Like you listen to a lot of these coaches that I'm hearing. My kids aren't quitting on me. They're not taking the next opponent for granted. We're not doing any of that bull crap, right? It comes down to, again, Missouri was top 10 in the country in three-pointers made. They went top 10 on us that night. They lit us up. And I think we talked about it earlier in the month, the 50, 40, 10. 50% is the effort. Like our effort, obviously South Carolina, you gotta wipe out. That's a machine within itself. But we're in these games. We're fighting like heck. That's the 50%. And then the 40% is the growth and the lessons I keep talking about after these losses, that we got to be better in scout and report defense. And then 10% is just the dogfight that comes with it, experience. Those moments where it's close, that you seize the moment, that you finish the last 5 minutes. That was the hard part about Missouri, is you're up 4 with, I think, a minute 30. We didn't finish it, right? And it had nothing to do with some other stuff. That's the dogfight. They came down and set a hard screen, got a 3. We come back down, don't execute, and then they execute again. That's dogfight. And so sometimes you have to learn from that and grow from that. And like I always say, in basketball, it's different than football. It's all about playing your best basketball come March, and that's always going to be my mission. And let's learn from those lessons and get better.
I guess kind of adding to that, you talked about Georgia and how they were a team that kind of took their lumps last year.
Yeah.
I would say Vanderbilt was a team like that as well, that last year had a lot of talent. This year you're kind of seeing that come to fruition.
Right.
In your talk about learning these lessons and growing, how do you strike that balance of, obviously you need to learn how to win, and you have goals for this season, but it's also a process that's bigger than just a few weeks or one SEC campaign? Yeah,
that's a great question. So we have a lot of individual meetings to help, because it's kind of hard in team dialogue talks, to your point. But like we're doing it in our off weeks, we meet with our players. We discuss big picture, you as an individual, and then where the team's at. And then you just, again, it's my job as a leader to give a lens to understand. Like we're not jumping off a bridge. You're not jumping off a cliff. We understood what we all signed up for at the beginning and the opportunities. Y'all have heard me say this all year, that we're going to be here. We got to seize it, and we got to learn from it. And then hopefully, and I talk about it so it doesn't happen next year, is retainment. All right, that's a big part of today's culture in the NCAA, is like, hey, like I'm not throwing you off to the side. We're going to pour into you. We're going to develop you. And if we get it done this year, great. If not, this is going to only make us stronger for the future. So that's been my lens. But at the same time, my lens is like, you did come here for the big dance. You have that in front of you too. So I've also painted that picture, like let's get this fixed, and let's have no regrets at the end of the season, and we're still having a great year. But you only can continue to say that so much as February ends. You got to seize the opportunities. We got to have one game at a time, and again, you got to protect home, and that's why this is a huge game here Thursday.
Madison's making all the big plays in the usual areas of scoring, rebounding, but watching her, have you seen the development of her as a passer? Because the way she gets the ball out of her hands so quickly, it's almost like her teammates are not expecting it. And what are you doing to take advantage of her ability to just get the ball somewhere? Yeah,
so I always tell the freshmen and even new kids who come in our system, you got about 5 to 6 games before a scout report's out. So obviously her film really took another notch once it got to SEC play. And that's part of that player development, where we sit down with them, we show them the stats, we show them the film. And what I love about her is her growth mindset. I think the Missouri game is where I really saw her take another notch, because we told them, hey, this is what they're going to do. And for her to be like, okay, and trust us, and then go out and do it, now it changes the scout. And then now, like some other games, even in South Carolina, she saw that, oh, crap, she might pass it. So then we can't blitz as hard. And then that's where, again, like the kid's just coming to life with her three-point shot and her ability to be an all-around player. That's what separates her from a lot of players in the country, where some kids only care about scoring. You look at her efficiency numbers, they're some of the top in the country because of block shots, rebounding, assist. It's a total package, and it's a lot of fun to coach.
Melissa's been here about a month now. How have you just seen her kind of acclimate on the fly as you're also playing games at the same time?
Yeah, she's so close. You know, it's. I think what did she get to the last game? 5 minutes. I don't have the box score in front of me. I thought she had some great shots. The kid wants it. We kind of discussed this after the Missouri game. What I loved about her when she missed that one shot is she was immediately in the practice gym that night getting shots. Like, she just wants to come in and help, and that's all you can ask for. You want to make sure you don't put too much pressure on her because this is hard, and if she seizes the moment, great. If not, she's only getting better for this because she's going to have a heck of a career here, and that's what I love about this kid's mindset. It's just a growth mindset, and for me, it starts in practice, and that's what she's doing. She's giving us everything we could ask for in practice. She's a great teammate, and then if her number's called, she'll be ready to seize the moment. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.